Hey everybody, Craig here, CLP Bushcraft. So I'm out in the woods today and I'm going to be using something new that I got, and it's a new knife. So this knife is amazing. I can't wait to show it to you, and I'm going to, but I'm going to kind of tell you how I wound up with this knife. So Blade Show Texas was last weekend. LT and Elaine drove down from Ohio at the shop, and they brought the knives and stuff with them, and they asked me and Jonathan, the Bearded Burton, if we could help them run the booth. So we did. We met up with them on Thursday, and we got everything unloaded, got it inside the convention center there at Fort Worth, and started unwrapping knives and getting everything set up. So the show was amazing. It couldn't have been any better. We sold a ton of knives, met a lot of awesome people, and made some really cool connections. Next year, LT and Elaine already have the spot set up. They've already got it reserved. They're going to be there again. LT Wright Knives is probably going to have a permanent place with Texas Blade Show, hopefully. It was an awesome time and a really good show. So when we're there on Thursday unwrapping knives, I wind up unwrapping this one, and we're unwrapping them, putting tags on them, setting them all out and stuff like that. But I unwrapped this one, and I'm like, I think I gotta have it. So it is a Genesis, and if anybody knows me, the Genesis is my absolute favorite knife. But these scales, y'all, look at them. These are amazing. When I seen them, it's just like I was blown away. And they're made in-house. So the guys at the shop made these with whatever kind of epoxies and stuff like that. They made them, and they call it Blue Sky. And this camera don't even do it justice, guys. These things are beautiful, especially when the sun hits them. I mean, they're like translucent where you can kind of see into them. And it does. It looks like blue skies with clouds. But what's really cool with it too is how thin it is. It's got blue liners. But as you can see how thin it is, like compared to my Bearded Mouse, like most of the Genesis knives, I mean, it's quite a bit thinner. And it don't have the thumb scallops. But man, it feels amazing in hand. Even being a smaller, thinner profile, it feels amazing. So this is what I'm going to do. I come over here, and this is not going to be like a knife that I use all the time, but it's a new knife and I got to use it. So what I'm going to do is do what I normally do with all my new knives that I get. I do a tri-stick with it, make some different notches, stuff like that, and then do some feathering with it. And that way you can kind of see, you know, if there's going to be any kind of hot spots and what you think about it, how it feels in hand, that kind of thing. So I'm going to get the camera repositioned and show y'all kind of what I do on tri-sticks and show you this knife in action. Stick with me. Okay, so kind of got it adjusted, and we're going to use this piece of Yopon Holly to do some tri-sticks. So I got this knife. It came with the black JRE sheath with the dangler on it, and I'm going to wind up wet forming this one, especially with the knife being as thin as it is. I'm going to wet form the sheath for this knife. Don't want to get Kydex for this one. I just don't know how Kydex would do with these scales. You know, if it gets kind of dirt or anything up against it on scratching it. So I don't want to really scratch these scales. All right, so without further ado, let's see how it does. So what I'll do is just kind of start out doing these push cuts like this, making just a basic point. You know, if you was going to do like tent stakes or whatever. And it's like, it feels, I mean, I love a thicker knife. That's one thing about the Bearded Mouse that I like over some other the Genesis models, is it's really squared off and thick. But this little thin, really feels really good. And this whatever this material is, I mean, it's actually kind of, it's not really slick. I mean, it's grippy. It really, I mean, it looks like it'd be really slick, but it's not. It's actually kind of grippy. But yeah, so I do this kind of like a little point, just to test it out, see how it does there. Feels really good in hand there. Let's do like a little saddle cut. So I just kind of push cut in. This knife is definitely scooter sharp. Probably not the most safest way to do it, cutting it back towards you, but this is the way I do it, and I kind of know what I can and can't do with a knife. So there's like a little, you know, little saddle cut. Let's do a hook. You know, like if you was to do a hook for trying to, you know, if you're cooking over the fire and you need a hook to hang your pot, like a little bell from your pot or whatever on it. A lot of people will make like an X and then, oh, hit the camera. They'll make like an X and do it that way. I'm gonna guess I'm a little different. This is how I do it. And this Yopon holly, it's pretty soft. Of course, it's green, and it's pretty soft wood. But this is what I mean, every time I get a new knife, this is what I want to come over and do. And that way, like I say, you get the total feel of the knife, you know, using it and everything. Like I couldn't tell you how many tri-sticks I've actually made with like the bearded mouse, because that's the one I tote all the time. Or like my next gen. Like I say, everybody does different stuff differently, you know, and this is how I do it on different notches and stuff. As you can see, you know, if you was to have the bell of your cup or whatever, you put it right there on it and it'd hang. Pretty day out today, especially to be in the woods. But yeah, if next year at Blade, Texas, when it comes around, if you're thinking about it, I would highly recommend going to it. It's not as big as Atlanta, but it's definitely big. It's getting there. And there's going to be some really cool, I can't say anything about them yet, but there's going to be some really cool stuff at the LT booth next year, for like Pout House members and stuff. So you definitely want to come. You definitely want to come check it out. So let's do like a kind of a reduction, like a cylinder. So what I'll do is just do a push cut around there, and then I'll drop down and do the same thing. Just go all the way around, just kind of a push cut. Then just go up. start taking away material. Going straight up to that push cut. So I don't know, you know, everybody watching this is from different places. You know, here it is now, March, well, around the 1st of March, and here in Texas, it's like, I think it was like right at 81 degrees when I come over here. It's looks like winter's pretty much over for us here in East Texas, but I don't know. Normally we'll have another cold spell around Easter. No, winter was not that cold this year in Texas. It wasn't. We didn't really have very much of a winter. I know Elaine was saying that the last weekend where they were here at Texas, that up in Ohio it was snowing that last weekend. It didn't snow any here in Texas this year. That's how close as we had was that hailstorm that I showed y'all on that video here a while back. But yeah, so I kind of do this and just make like a cylinder. Just kind of going up using the tip of the knife to do push cuts to take away the material. Kind of change, go this side now. The knife feels awesome in hand, I'll tell you that now. No hot spots whatsoever. Now granted, using the push cuts like this on the spine, it will, I mean, LT's got a 90-degree spine, and it is a 90-degree spine. So that will, you'll kind of play on your thumb just a little bit by doing a lot of push cuts. It's not bad, by no means. But yeah, so you can see it's kind of just a reduction down like this into a cylinder. And we do like a 7-notch, very useful notch. So what I do with it is just put it in, push straight down, basically making a thick, deep stop cut, and then just start going straight up until you get to the stop cut. I know a lot of people get knives, you know, especially pretty beautiful knives like this, you know, and get put up and don't ever use them. I don't know. I mean, granted, this is not going to be one that I use all the time, and I have nothing against anyone who does that. This is just me personally, but I get a knife, it's like, I gotta go try it out. I gotta see how it feels. Granted, I might not use it all the time, and it might sit on my shelf with my other LT knives, you know, in my collection, and it might not get used that much, or it might only get carried on special occasions, you know. Like Atlanta Blade Show this year, you know, if I get off and be able to get to go to that, this is probably the knife that I'll wind up having on my side there. Especially, I love to show it off and show everybody these beautiful scales. But you know, certain things, like big events like Georgia Bushcraft, I'll definitely have it, you know, on me there, show it off and stuff. But it won't be my main working knife for sure. But I mean, it could be for sure. I mean, I mean, really and truly, it feels really good in hand, being that thin. It does. It feels really good. It kind of like locks in right here, and it don't twist or anything. So that's your normal old 7-notch. And I know there's a ton of videos out there on YouTube that, you know, shows you tri-sticks and everything, and how to make the notches and stuff like that. But, you know, I'm just kind of showing you what I do, and, you know, showing you the new knife in action. So, you know, it's different, some different stuff on the tri-stick you can do to get the feel of the knife, basically. And you know, always, you know me, I love the feather stick, so we gotta see how it does, you know, making some curls. It's so sharp. Yeah, sometimes I could just sit out in the woods like this and do this all day. It definitely makes some good curls. I was actually doing this at Blade there at the last of the day, kind of slowing down. I had some cedar that I'd brought, and so I'm like, yeah, I gotta do a little bit of feather sticking. Yep, it does good feather sticking. But, you know, it's just some, like I say, things you can do with a knife when you get it. You know, look up tri-stick. You know, it shows you all a bunch of different notches. You can Google it and, you know, come up with video or come up with pictures, and shows you different notches and stuff. And just go out with your knife and try them. Try, like I say, do feather sticks. You know, just go out and do different things like that with it, and it'll help you get to know your knife. And you know, like I say, if you get a brand new knife, go out and try it and see if you like it, see it, how it does. This one does amazing. So thank y'all for watching, and I think I'm gonna stay out here and play with it a little bit longer. So until the next video, guys, see you then. Take care.